Stop
Yeah.
chewing. Lean back, Jake. You're chewing chips. Stop eating chips for a minute. Finish that chip and stop for a second, you fucking bitch.
Shit, bitch.
Oh my god.
You're a little shit. You know that?
You're gonna get some dick kickings.
You're a little shit.
Mm.
I'm your favorite little shit.
And that is not another freaking podcast. And I'm your host today, Shane Daniels, and we're going to talk about music. Jake's a little shit, apparently.
Well, shit, this thing is some dick kickings.
And
Come
I'm
get
Will
some-
Diamond. I'm the sparkliest manager around. It's literally in my fucking last name. I be dancing in the lights. And yeah, Jake's a little shit. I would just like to take a moment to apologize to Norm. I'm sorry, we're still gonna pay you for today, but you can go ahead and go home. I would once again like to apologize to Norm, our studio house singer and intro person, that Jake is a little shit.
I try.
And I am the promoter of Pro Wrestling Clash TY, and I've got a new office today. It's temporary, but it's heaven.
It looks like Florida.
Far from it. It's in the lake in Tennessee.
I'm JD, and fuck Florida.
There you go. Fuck Florida.
And I'm Jake, and I'm a little shit apparently, but I'm your favorite little shit.
Something
Everyone's
like
favorite.
that.
You keep telling yourself that, Jake.
Man, why you keep dealing with me then?
It's kind of at this point, it's like a tax write-off.
It really
It's
is.
almost like you're like our kid that we just have to keep up with at this point.
I
That's funny,
will
considering I'm
never.
the fucking oldest of the five of us.
I will never forget the day that a piece of you came out of each of our cloacas and then created the most bitter indie wrestler in all the lands.
It's not much, but it's honest work.
You are the Meg of the podcast, Jake.
He wishes he was the Meg. He wishes he had an ounce of the charm of that Jason Statham blockbuster.
I knew he was going that direction with it.
He wish he has an ounce of the charisma that was contained in the Meg 2, semicolon.
Before we
The
get started,
Trench.
did anybody watch Blood Money yesterday?
No,
No.
I didn't.
I
No,
watched
but-
part of it.
No, but I'm thankful that Gunther is our king of the ring.
Gunther
I'm not
and Randy
gonna
had
lie.
a fucking banger.
That's one way to call it.
What?
I'm glad Sweet Baby Liv finally became world champion. All is right in the world.
It is.
Anybody but Becky.
The Gunther Randall match, I used to always dismiss him whenever he would talk shit about worked punches, but then it just suddenly clicked. And all I could hear the whole match was good old friend of the podcast, Boston Ben, in my head saying, those worked punches look like dog shit over and over. And man, Randall, come on. It was the same thing as when I saw Randall versus Braithany at Mania with the Jack in the Box finish, where they just get into like a weird vortex loop of doing the same spots over and over of, all right, forearm exchange. Now I go down. Now I give it back. Now you go down. All right, now let's set up for an RKO. Now you reverse and push me away. And now I go back for it. Lock up again. And then let's hit each other again. Now push me away. I go for the RKO, but you block it again. It was that, and it just went on for so fucking long. Oh my god.
Just like
on
this
the other hand-
conversation about blood money, and
That's
had
fair.
nothing to really do with what the episode's about today, which is
We gotta have some banter. Come on.
banter.
My
We're gonna-
the only positive banter out of that was Liv Morgan got a really awkward title win. And the triple threat was a fucking banger.
Triple threat was great.
A fucking banger. The wrong man won. I've never seen a triple threat so heavily stacked against a man that needs to get pinned and the man pinned. Like I know everyone's all like, oh, we love Kurt Angle too, but I'm sorry, Jonah Rock should have got that fucking belt. But also, we have like really stupid bullshit wannabe theater topics to talk about. So take us away, Shane.
Well, I came up with a good idea to talk about music, what music we listen to, just so everybody can kind of get to know us a little better. And also, too, our music is very diverse here at Not Another Freaking Podcast. So, I start mine off with some rap. Rap is my favorite thing ever because
I hate rap.
why do you hate rap? Is a
Rap.
great form of storytelling.
I have to interject real quick and ask if anyone else saw Tyler pull up his hair, his hat, see his hairline, and go, and then put his hat back down.
Yeah, that's why the camera's off.
Not the L.A. night.
Yeah.
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 Let me talk to you.
Okay. Sorry.
Talk
Continue.
to you.
But my first rap
Yeah.
album I ever got was the Above the Rim soundtrack.
That is such a fucking wild first pick.
I know. And I got it on cassette at a yard sale for like $1.
Why Above the Rim? What out of everything was just like, God damn, this soundtrack is speaking to me right now.
Honestly, I was just like, you got to think about where I lived at the time, like in rural and bumfuck fucking Tennessee. So rap wasn't a thing. So if you wanted to find rap back in the day, it was kind of like finding Japanese wrestling, where you had to like go out and search for rap. You had
Or
to,
you had to know somebody that was like,
or
"Here,
yeah,
listen
you
to
had to
this."
know somebody. So honestly, when I picked it up, I just didn't know what. I just saw a basketball, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's a fucking soundtrack, and I saw some songs on there that I knew, and then I played it, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
What was the banger for you off the soundtrack? And there is only one right answer.
Oh my god, man. I'm
Actually,
gonna tell
no.
you.
All right, sorry, I apologize. There's 2 right answers, but there's a lot of wrong answers.
There's a lot of wrong answers. Yes, there is.
Because
It would
if it
have
is
to
not,
be.
no, if it's not Regulate, or if it's not the Ladies of Rage track, then I'm going to shoot you.
Well, Regulate, obviously, because it's a classic.
Yeah, I forget you hate women.
Is that what it is? I fucking hate women. Okay.
That is a massive leap.
Wow.
That is. But you also have a Loyal to the Game on there.
Okay, no, that one actually is a fucking bop.
Yeah.
As soon as you said it, the first 2 things that popped off my head was Ladies of Rage and then the Nate Dogg song.
Well, you got some Dog Pound on there as well.
You've got a lot of Dog Pound on there, actually.
Yes, you do. And I mean, it wasn't just like also where I grew up too. Like all they really played around here, you either got country or classic rock. That was about it. So finding
Clearly,
something.
they weren't
Tennessee in
playing
a nutshell.
classic rock because all of y'all get mad at me whenever I play Creed.
Yeah.
Go wait in the car.
There's nothing classic about Creed.
There's nothing non-classic about fucking Higher.
Well, and then
Do
also
I need to shoot you too, JD?
If you're gonna make me listen to Creed, yes.
My Own Prison.
You heard it here,
Yep.
folks. This is the last episode with Shane and JD. You better soak it up. They're about to get.
I like My Own Prison. That's a
They're
good
about to
song.
get shot in the name of Scott Stapp.
Oh my god. Well, speaking of that too, like it's just not only rap for me. When I was able to get the internet, and now that I have Google and like Pandora, like I listen to everything. And another thing that rap opens up to is like Bill Weathers and stuff like that, and all those classic samples that they took from those songs back in the day and revamped them, for now. And then like I like rock, I like death metal. I mean, my music is all over the place. Like, you ever like go to the gym and you're like, what, looking at a dude and you're like, I bet he's listening to like some like screaming metal. No, I'm listening to fucking Katy Perry.
Fuck yeah. Roar goes so hard.
Man, Firework, if you're in the right frame of mind, Firework, really.
Dark Horse 2, Dark Horse is a fucking bop.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on that one. The fucking
But then like I like Midwest metal
today.
too. So, there's all kinds of stuff. I also listen to a little bit of country, but I listen to a lot of like Chris Stapleton and what, you don't like Chris Stapleton?
No.
What, we don't. Oh my
Wow.
God.
I can only do country if it was put out after Alabama put out Love in the First Degree, then it's dog shit.
Well, you need to give Chris Stapleton a chance, because that's about as good as country as country.
Does he
I'll give
have
him a chance to turn
anything
the
that
radio
holds
off.
a candle to Love in the First Degree?
Come on,
Oh, what's
Reba.
that? I'm hearing. No, I love Reba. I love that one song. The "What would you do if your son was a house transmogrified by a witch and you had to lure the kids into his mouth and his mouth was a foyer and the chandelier's uvula and the furniture's teeth." I love that Reba song.
Wow.
Way.
All right.
They made a really good movie about it too. Dan Harmon made it. Monster House.
Monster House. Is
Yeah,
that
based
it?
off that Reba song. What would you do if your son was a house?
I don't think that's a Reba song.
I don't think
Chat,
so.
tell me I'm lying.
But I like Johnny Cash too, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff
and you
like
know
that.
what? Johnny Cash put out everything before Love in the First Degree, and as soon as it came out, he called it a raps and started smoking opium or whatever he did.
What the fuck?
I remember that scene from Walk the Line.
Yeah, I love that fucking John C. Reilly movie.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Yeah, you don't remember him huffing that shit and then going, I
The
cut
fucking-
myself
Lover
today
of myself. Oh god.
to see if I still feel in love in the first degree.
Oh man, but yeah, that's about
Yeah.
yeah.
Let me talk
I also
to
listen to classical music and jazz.
you. Yo,
Y'all
what,
don't
like,
know
let's
nothing.
go. Jazz?
Y'all
Fuck yeah.
we
don't
talking
know
about?
nothing about no motherfucking classical music until you listen to the motherfucking Sonic R soundtrack and then go listen
God.
to Cover to Cover Bad Girls record by Donna Summers. Y'all don't know nothing about the classics till you listen to some motherfucking disco shit.
Actually, no, you listen to the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. That's good
That's
shit.
jazz.
That's
That is
jazz. You
Yeah,
can't
but my
get
favorite.
down. You can't get down in the club to some fucking Cowboy Bebop. You're just gonna be menacing, chain smoking in the corner.
That's
Bullshit.
horseshit.
Because I've fucking seen it at cons, dude. Like, I've seen some people fucking dance their asses off to the Cowboy Bebop music.
Dude, that's a totally
Yes,
different. That is a great
but
vibe.
not like Journey to the Center of Your Heart, because when the intro ends after 2 minutes and the real song starts, that was
I've
why
never pegged you as a
cocaine.
jazz dude, Shane.
That was why cocaine was exported to the United States.
No, I love some jazz, man.
Was to get down to the Bad Girls record.
And in Fallout, I'll play the classical station when I'm fucking killing stuff. Nothing like killing shit to Beethoven's Sympathy.
Oh, you're a fucking or no, what are they called? Enclave bastard listening to their radio station.
Oh
This
my.
is a galactic news radio house. We support Three Dog. Ow! Coming from you live from the Capital Wasteland where we listen to Butcher Pete.
What is happening?
I know,
I have
no,
no
I
clue.
know your ass was not going through the fucking wasteland hearing blasting super
I
mutants.
fucking guarantee
Yeah, why wouldn't
you.
you?
Why would you not? It
Yeah.
Why
sets
would
the
you listen
fucking
to
mood.
that when you can be in the exact same setting blasting super mutants while you listen to Butcher Pete fucking the entire town's wives and then they had to release him from jail because he wouldn't stop fucking everyone in the jail. But then when they released him, their problem came back and he was fucking everyone's wives, so then they had to kill him. And they
I
made
can't say
two
I
songs
understood that
about it.
reference.
2 songs.
2 songs. Anyways,
Two
Jake,
whole songs.
I know you're excited about some music, but
Yeah, dude, like I love talking about music because like I played it for a long time myself. Like I've been in and out of bands since I was like 15.
Oh, listen to you, Mr. Pretentious.
I'm,
Hey,
I'm not saying it was good. I'm just saying I was in
Oh,
band.
look at you. You discovered music at the age of 15. You weren't locked inside a cult bunker until the age of 22 and couldn't hear sounds. Look at you.
Yeah, we know your. At least I know your backstory, Will. I remember
Are
because
you
yours and
Kimmy
Katie's
Schmidt?
is very similar.
Look at you, big fancy boy. You were allowed to hear audio before the age of 22. Ooh la la. He has a
No,
castle, a couch.
no.
damn, I didn't know this was going to open up so many hard feelings.
You should have come and slang some solar panels with us.
Yeah, you got some deep Will exposition lore walking around in these fucking WASP neighborhoods.
Yeah. Shout
What?
out the police officers that were on God, always on our side, and we're just like, y'all are working, right?
Yeah, of course we are.
But also, Jake, what do you even listen to now that you don't play music and you just wrestle and scam old ladies?
I listened to the same shit that I listened to back then. Like my parents were all into the shit that they listened to, like when they were in high school when I was growing up. When I was, because I was born in '85, so they were still listening to the stuff that they listened to when they were in high school.
Were your
And
parents, which of the two was the most big on Motorhead?
neither, actually.
Really? That's an
Yeah.
independent choice.
I mean, that came about from after I started discovering my own fucking music was when Motorhead and stuff like that came in. Like for the
I
longest
do,
time, the only shit that I'd hear in my fucking house was like fucking Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones because that was my dad's two fucking favorite bands.
but
Or
what about your mom? I need to know what to
Rod
play at
Stewart.
our bet. I'll play that at our wedding.
Rod Stewart was mom's big shit, and Alice Cooper. She actually got to go bowling with Alice Cooper once in the '70s when she won some contest. They got to go bowling with him.
That is, I don't know why, but that's just like the pinnacle mom story of like, yeah, I went bowling with Alice Cooper.
Right? And the
I
dude
mean,
that wrote all Elton John's music or his
And
lyrics.
300.
I would rather that be my story. Like I almost went bowling with Alice Cooper, but mine's like I almost got my ass beat by Little John's security guard in Atlanta. So yeah,
My only firsthand like that is talking to Wale at spring break while under the influence, and I'll leave it at that.
I drank beers with Fat
So it's
Mike.
ambiguous. And
damn.
in terms of parents, my mom has delivered 4 babies of a redacted celebrity that I'm legally not allowed to say, but I'm just going to say we live in the Chattanooga area, so piece it together from there.
NDAs, that's wonderful.
Anyway, I got away from the classic rock stuff that my parents listened to and stuff in high school, I somehow, because of the internet, found Nirvana, and that was the first
Ugh.
two records. First two records I ever bought with my own money was Bleach and In Utero, because fucking Nevermind was the big one. So I was like, I want to hear their other stuff.
Ugh.
And then because of the internet, like I'd fucking read interviews and shit with them, and I'd find out about bands that they liked, and I'd go listen to those bands, and then I'd find out about the bands that they liked, and that's where I got into like punk and all that stuff, and then through like-minded people found a whole bunch of other stuff and got into local scenes. And then as I got
What's
older, like fucking hanging out with Shane, I started kind of getting into a little bit of rap, and then hanging out with Ray Fury, I got into more of the weird metal stuff and things like that.
See, and I know Shane and I have a lot of overlap in rap, but just like day-to-day shit. I listen to a lot of weird shit, and the rap I've tried to sell you on, you've always been like, no. But granted, I also try to sell you on the hardest sells because I'm never just like, hey, listen to the song. I'm always like, listen to Let's Kick His Ass by Father and Zach Fox. It's great.
If
Listen
you want
to
to hear
I'm
Yeah,
the
some,
I
Biggest
like
Bird.
Biggest Bird.
if you want to hear some
I'm the
weird
Biggest
rap,
Bird's
listen to Mo
different.
Show the Cat Rapper.
No, if y'all want to listen to some weird rap, and it's not actually weird at all, it's just really funny, listen to BFB to Pac-Man. I think he still works for UPS. He's hilarious.
See, this is why I love the internet, because it really changed the music for me. Because
Yeah.
with Google, there's no excuse why you should listen to shitty music. And
Exactly.
especially with like
Like
Pandora
Creed.
too. Creed is not that shitty.
No,
They're not
Creed's
that
also
good either.
just not shitty. They're really fucking amazing.
Or Nickelback.
If Creed wasn't amazing, then would Scott Stapp have paid millions of dollars to get that man to not release his sex tape with Kid Rock and 4 women? No, that's rock star shit.
Papa Roach is the shit.
No, Papa Roach is fucking terrible.
It's fucking bad.
I agree.
Please tell me
Yeah.
this is not your segment, Tyler.
The late '90s metal scene was not a good time.
No,
really
We got
it's
was.
derailed.
it's extremely pick and choose. It's like a fucking minefield. Because literally you turn to your left and you will get like fuck well always forget what the actual name of the song is. The one Creed, what is it called? Is
My
it One Step Away? No, not My Sacrifice. The other really big one, same album.
6 Feet from the Edge.
Thank you.
And I'm thinking that maybe 6
The
feet.
6 feet ain't that far away.
Exactly.
On one hand, you look to your left and you have a absolute gem like that, and then you look to your right and you have click click boom.
Ugh.
Oh, saliva.
And then especially getting into wrestling in the early 2000s, there was at least one motherfucker on every show that used some bullshit like that.
Yep.
I need
Hold
to
on,
know,
JD.
like y'all's days was before I actually started, especially like non at the time Ring of Honor counted as an indie, fight me about it. But like non Ring of Honor, like main big indies, how many people came out to shut me up by Mindless Self-Indulgent?
I don't recall.
Really?
Don't recall.
Me and
Oh
Marcus
my
used it a couple times.
Was
oh
that-
my god. I've just learned what the next Altamont bit is gonna be. Actually, no, they're swear words. I can't.
I got you.
Tyler, can I have bet? I also
Okay.
need another one from you. I'll message you later. It's not anything like that. I literally just need a trim down. I need it to start 1:44. Madonna's
Let me
got
know.
the banger for me. She
Yes,
just be
Shane.
singing too much at the beginning.
It's
So I
fuck-
know we've been getting a little riled up. We've been getting real funky dunky. But have y'all had a moment to hear about the gospel that is the Street Fighter 2 soundtrack.
Do you just listen? Are you the type of person that just listens to soundtracks to fighting games and Sonic the
So
Hedgehog? Is this
I
like your thing?
I
Is this where
don't,
we're going?
but those two specific soundtracks are in so many playlists because the Sonic R soundtrack specifically has some of the craziest late stage disco bangers ever conceived. But Street Fighter, like, if you do not believe me, pause this fucking podcast, go on YouTube, and look up Street Fighter 2 Guile's theme. And
Yo,
from the first 15 seconds, you can't tell me that you ain't pumped the fuck up.
I mean, it's a good one.
Both
And then the rest of it is just like a dope vibe.
I don't know,
But
Ken's like really awesome too.
Ken's is good, but to me, the number 2 is Ryu's.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I won't argue with that one. But no, Will's not the only one that listens to video game soundtracks. I dig what I hear. So like when
There's
I
some good video game soundtracks out there.
yeah,
Nerds.
like I was telling you guys earlier, like the Sonic Mania soundtrack was incredible. Almost anything Sonic is like really good. There's like a good mix of tones and speeds and stuff like that in Sonic that I
Call
really
that tempo.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Shane could probably answer this one. Was it which Dragon Ball Budokai game was it that the composer got in a shitload of trouble for ripping off a bunch of other fucking like metal songs and shit
Oh.
for the soundtrack?
So one of them was called Challengers, which was the I think it was the Namek theme from the first Budokai, and it was
Yeah.
from I forget what the name of the band is. It's like an Irish metal band.
Yeah.
What? I've never heard about this.
Yeah. I think
it's-
it's the first
it's-
Budokai.
So the song
Like,
is called
Budokai or Budokai Tenkaichi?
Budokai,
No,
Budokai, the first one.
I think it's the first one, but the song is called High and Low, and I cannot remember the name of the band. I'll send it to you later. But there's actually like a mashup on YouTube. It's incredible. That shit's fire. It's awesome.
Yeah, like the composer got in a lot of trouble because he like ripped off a whole bunch of other fucking more popular songs for the soundtrack, and he totally fucking Jimmy Hearted it, and he would just like rearrange a couple of notes to try to skirt past copyrights.
Yeah, he got fired as fuck.
But the fucking music was rad.
Yeah,
All right, Will, continue.
Sorry.
very well.
Street Fighter's fucking powerful and uplifting, but lately I've been on a really big. I go through big kicks. I like Shane. I love me some rap. That's, I would say, probably the main genre I listen to. But lately I've been on a really, really big early 90s European pop kick. And I want to preach the gospel that is whoever the fuck, and I already know who, but I'm not going to go into that whole fucking story because that's going to take a whole hour. But the producer of the Venga Boys, that man was so insanely in his bag and in such a short time span was just like, all right, I'm going to give y'all a bunch of beats for an insane number of hits, not just for the Venga Boys. He also did 80 fucking other hits, including Is There Fucking Life After Love? Literally anything from the early 90s that had a lot of beep, 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 beep was this man. He loved him some beeps. And the
Right.
entire Vanga Boys album, because they pretty much just had two, and the whole group was him, and even the origin was they were all supposed to just be a DJ group, but he was like, well, no one cares about DJs. Let's just throw some random hot people in front of the songs.
Fair.
And look what fucking happened. Number one hit after number one hit. You can't tell me that you don't want to go boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. Me and you together in my room, boom, 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 boom. And you can't tell me that you don't like to party
Not anymore. Too old for that.
Yeah, I'm way too old for partying.
So
Yeah,
you're
we're not.
gonna tell me that if the opportunity arose, you would not leap forth onto the Vangabus? It's an
No, I go home and go to bed.
intercontinental party
I go to
from
bed.
Chicago to Vegas. They don't really start at the East Coast, but they go a good ways.
Anytime I'm partying is a missed opportunity for sleeping.
Hey.
I like that answer.
Or you party so hard that you pass out, and then you wake up and keep partying because you're on the Vangabus.
I'm in my mid-30s. If I passed out from partying, I'm not waking up for like 3 days.
He does make a good point, though, JD.
No, hangovers at this age suck.
Hangovers at any age suck, but like,
Yeah, but when I was
just
like younger, you can bounce back real quick. Now at like 35, it's like I'm dead for 3 days and
No,
can't
JD's got.
move.
step your
No,
game up. Who the fuck gets hangovers?
No, the bigger the hangover and the older you get, the worse and miserable you become next day. And that shit can last not for hours, but for days. I completely agree with JD.
I can't
Hangovers.
do it anymore.
Step your game up, though.
I can't go to the club and get ecstasy and fucking get a light show and sit there and function the next day like I used to. Okay, it's not gonna happen.
Doesn't
but
work
step
anymore.
your game up. Who the fuck's getting hangovers?
We are.
I mean, 2 beers and I'm hungover for like 3 days.
That sounds like
See,
a you problem.
That's
That
how.
sounds
That's
like a
Three just
skill
since we
issue.
started recording.
how that
Yeah,
poor
but
local.
you also drink like fucking Miller Lights. That's basically water.
Shut up.
I'm drinking Classic Cities today.
What the fuck is a classic city? What is the classic city?
You
Yeah,
pay
like the
$1
Miller-
for that beer.
Actually, no. Before you answer, group vote. What is the most classic city?
Savannah, Georgia.
New York.
Boston.
Paris.
Chicago.
That does not count. That's not a fucking America. You think some cheap ass domestic beer is gonna be Paris, France?
We
You
gotta
said
get
wine
classic
France.
city. You didn't say what was in the city.
Yeah,
There
but
you
it's
go.
based off of a domestic beer that Jake is drinking. It's obviously not a fucking French import.
Oh, Milwaukee.
Like
Good.
Milwaukee's best. Let's go.
That honestly might be the one.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee
Where
or St.
were
Louis,
you?
if you're talking about beer.
Yeah.
Will is all over the fucking place today.
Yeah, we got way off topic.
Young William.
Oh,
Is he alive?
Yes.
Will. Are you eating shrooms?
what the fuck?
No, I've never actually done that because I'm allergic to normal mushrooms.
Okay.
Well, there you go. We learned something
So
today.
I don't want to run that risk.
Okay.
So we finished, or is it somebody else's turn?
I assume it's someone else's turn. I've rambled enough.
Yeah, that's-
So Tyler, I know you like bullshit fighting game ass music.
Yeah. Okay. I do. And you're just in the thing. So I love Mortal Kombat music. I
There we
love
go.
Street Fighter music. I love Fatal Fury music. I love fighting game music.
Fatal Fury's got some banger soundtrack. Mortal Kombat, it depends on the one. Which one are we talking, Tyler?
Seriously sounded like he said fetal fury.
Fetal Fury.
Oh my.
That's because it's been so long since we've been graced by it that I feel like I was a fetus when I was playing it.
So the Mortal Kombat.
When
and
you
the
got
Mortal Kombat-
twins, what happens?
damn
Fetal
it.
Fury.
I love the
It's a
Mortal
bunch of
Kombat
babies fighting.
Annihilations soundtracks. Fear Factory, Rammstein, KM, FDM.
Whoa. You
Yeah.
you know those bands? That's crazy. I wouldn't expect that from you.
Yeah, it's good shit.
No,
You know
keep in
what?
mind-
You know what's a bucket list thing for me?
What's that?
Go to a Rammstein show.
Oh my dear God, I would fucking jizz all over myself.
I would too.
TMI,
really-
bro.
Dude, have you ever had a chance to watch the Vonker Ball for Naming's France?
I don't know half the words you just said.
No, I did not.
It's German, clearly.
Well, no, the Vonker Ball is on a DVD. And say hey to Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hey, where's my?
What are we looking for? Time out, guys. I'm sorry.
God.
Okay. Sorry.
Real
So-
quick,
Well, it's
every
free
one of
time
you.
now,
wait, real
you
quick.
know?
Ty, what was that fucking song that you and Justin O'Day used to use as the encore?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me think about that. We used no, we used Rockstar by R. Kelly and motherfuck Ludacris. We also used
I don't think that's the one I'm thinking.
Gonna
of.
cut that so you don't have to listen to R. Kelly.
no, that was Justin's idea, not mine. That's
There was
not-
another one you guys used. It was very industrial sounding.
Supercharger Heaven by White Zombie.
That's it.
That's good shit
Why
too.
don't people name songs like that anymore?
Because they're not clever like Rob Zombie.
Well, I
Yeah,
watched
that
some of
was
his movies.
that was my first rock album I ever bought was Hellbilly Deluxe.
It's good shit.
I got it from a pawn shop, and the guy gave it to me for $1 because it was scratched up, and he was like, "Yeah, I can't get it to work," and then I got it to work. So yeah,
Nice.
So anyway,
So-
like I was saying, like Tyler liking the shit that he said he likes, like that is not surprising for me at all. Because
that is surprising for me.
encore song.
So Jake's used to me listening to shit like Dragon Force. What else? Like I'm big into heavy metal and stuff like that. Here recently, I've listened to a guy named Jonathan Young. He does like a mix of stuff. You can find him on YouTube. He does sea shanties, but in metal. He does synth metal. He does song covers in metal, like Disney stuff. It's all like super duper really good. Like I'm a big fan of it all.
What was that? What was that one that me and you both like him? I can't remember his name right now. He does the video game music covers. And there was one I sent you, and you're like, "Oh, dude, that got fucking rules."
We'll be here all day.
He did a lot of the fucking Mega Man songs.
Oh fuck.
The YouTube dude.
Fucking hell. Is it Lame Genie? Which that's another good one.
No, it's not Lame Genie.
Yeah, like I love the guys and the people that redo video game music in metal and stuff like that. Like that's my shit. Oh, fuck. Yeah,
See,
I'll get
I'm a little bit of a sucker for the opposite. Like I'm a sucker for whenever people do KK Slider covers of actual songs.
Yo, KK Sliders is shit.
Can you name me a song?
Animal Crossing's Post Malone, as Hank would say.
KK's
That's clever.
fucking Slider, dude.
Me and Hank Carls Jr. need to have some words. I
Well,
don't like that comparison.
So, Will, can you name me at least 3 songs from Rammstein that is not Du Hast?
God damn.
I don't know the words to no fucking Rammstein songs.
Yo, the
Well,
best
you-
Rammstein song was America, though.
There's America, there's Sunny.
We're all living in America. Reggae used to use that song.
Yeah.
I've got nothing.
I like that one song that they did with Beyonce, Video Phone.
Wait, what was the Rammstein song with the video where they're all fucking working in the mine?
So, Sonny.
Yeah, that one that
on the railroad.
Yeah, that song fucking.
But
shit was
yeah,
good.
I've been working on the railroad.
Have you seen the video where they got banned in America where they were having sex in the video?
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
called
what?
They were literally having sex in the video.
Why are
Rad.
they being so extra?
Just
Because
saying.
it was the
It's a-
late 90s, William.
Okay.
No,
yeah,
this
everybody
was
but
like
also,
not too long ago. This was like
no,
Oh.
then you're being especially extra. No one actually cares about music videos anymore.
Will's got a. I kind of agree with Will because I don't give a shit either.
No, music
Unless
videos
Ninja
are
Sex
not what
Party's
they
putting
used
out
to
a new
be.
one.
Like back in the day, it used to be like because you would see it on TV.
Back in the day,
And
they were artistic. Now you just get somebody dancing around while a song plays in the background.
now
there's-
it's
I see that, but I raise you the underground independent bands that their following is mostly on YouTube and shit.
no.
Those
See,
guys put out some good YouTube music videos.
I clash your statement, JD, because that's what they always were. Was just someone dancing to their music, but there
Not
was
always.
cool set pieces, dope outfits, at least some cool choreography, and then like weird little story bits in between. Prime example.
No, I can derail your theory right there. Have you ever seen a fucking Tool video?
yeah.
Oh, good
All right.
lord. Yeah.
You're in.
Yeah,
Ja-
but also not that many because I think you forget I'm not a divorced dad.
Hey, relax.
But on the inverse of the exact same demographic, have you ever seen a Nine Inch Nails music video?
Unfortunately, yes.
That's got a lot of weird little fuckers doing weird little dances.
Hey,
Because Trent Reznor is a weird little fucker.
That's fair.
Jake,
with-
to go back, you're
With
saying
according to Fiona Apple, he also has a weird little fucker.
Jake, before I forget, Stone McNuckle is the band that you're
That's it.
talking. Yeah,
That's
but
it.
Stone,
Yes.
think about that for a minute. He is producing good shit, but he hasn't brought anything out since Christmas of last year. But he's only doing like a song or two a year, which is really unfortunate because that guy's unbelievably talented.
Quality over quantity, man.
But yeah. And now I'm finished.
JD,
Okay,
your
well-
turn.
Mine begins with this band right here.
I can't see it.
I can't
Blink
see what it
182.
is.
Blink 182 for the
Blink
people who can't
182.
see.
That
Your
means
In
nameplate was
2001,
blocking it.
In 2001, my mom bought me Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, not knowing what it was, what it had on it, or anything like that. And when I put it in my own personal little CD player and put it on my headphones, I was like, my mom is never hearing this because this is amazing and she will take it away from me. And thus began my foray into pop punk and eventually punk rock. And I mean, that's kind of been where I've been stuck since 2001. I listened to a lot of Blink, Taking Back Sunday, Brand New. Fall Out Boy is like one of my all-time favorites. We actually went to Chicago and followed them across the country on their latest tour. We went to Chicago, saw them in Chicago and in Kansas City 2 days later. Me and my girlfriend, it was amazing. Saw them in Wrigley Field on a hometown show with Alkaline Trio. Alkaline Trio is another one. I love Alkaline Trio so fucking much. Pretty much
You know
what
what I'm really
my childhood.
disappointed? I'm disappointed in all these bands that you just said, and you didn't even say Good Charlotte.
I mean,
Just-
so I love Good Charlotte, but
That's
like
because
I kind of
JD don't know nothing about the lifestyles of the rich and the famous.
So
He's
I
a
fell
broke
off Good Charlotte
bitch.
after a while, but seeing them at When We Were Young, when they brought out Lil Jon with them, like reinvigorated my love of Good Charlotte because that was fucking awesome. Lil Jon sang Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous with them. It was fucking
Okay, wait,
great.
what? Send me a fucking link.
I have a video on my phone. I just sent it to you. Yeah, Lil Jon just popped up at When We Were Young unannounced and started singing Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous with Good Charlotte. It was fucking
Like
dope.
he did the chorus?
He did the whole song.
Oh my god, you need to send that to
It
me.
was
I've
fucking
never
amazing.
heard something
The
so
look of like
specifically
disgust
fucking
in
weird.
Jake's face right now is just
I was with
amazing.
JD all the way up until he started naming bands, and it progressively
No,
got worse.
I
for
love
me.
I love the
Alkaline Trio is
counterbalance.
not worse, decidedly.
Also,
they're,
yeah,
they're
fuck
fine,
you.
but like some of those other, I was like, oh god.
So like
Like you were the
that,
fuckers we made fun of at the mall.
So that got me into like more and more shit. Like I eventually got into like NoFX, Bad Religion,
Here we go.
The Misfits.
Yes.
I actually had a missed encounter with you two at a Bad Religion show. No, it was a Misfit show, wasn't it?
The Misfits
And-
show, the
The
Masquerade.
Misfit show. We went and saw the Misfits in Atlanta at the Masquerade. and apparently you two were there, you and Tyler.
We were.
We
And
were.
we lost our camera stage side, and we were searching for our camera the whole show. And Danny only came off the stage after the show and helped us look for our camera.
That was also
Oh,
the
dude,
night
fucking
out
right.
where or Jerry was it Jerry only punched the
Yeah,
fucking
Jerry
fan.
Yeah, yeah, that
Like,
was see, I didn't know you guys then, but we were there. We came from Fort Benning to see that show, and Tyler and I were talking years later. I told him we were at that show, and Jerry only came up to look for our camera. He was like, "Oh my god, we were at that show," and I was like, "Oh, that's fucking cool."
Yeah.
So yeah,
Because he made the same joke about being in Atlanta, and he's like, "I used to work here." Me and Ty were like, "Oh, he's talking about WCW."
and then we went and saw Bad Religion on their 30th anniversary tour. That was pretty fucking dope.
How
We
did they
saw them,
sound?
huh?
How did they sound?
Who?
Because a lot of like that's rock is unfortunately that genre where it's like you really got to strike it when the iron's hot in terms of a live show. Otherwise, you kind of just walk away from it depressed.
I don't know. Bad Religion sounded fucking great. Like
Yeah.
we
Oh,
saw
yeah.
them twice. We saw them in Birmingham and Atlanta on that tour.
Yo,
See, I saw Bad Religion at a Warp Tour, and because you're outside,
yeah.
and I still thought they sounded fantastic.
See,
And
I've
then,
never
like-
seen them, but a lot of I don't know. I feel like a lot of rock bands, granted, whenever I did see them was like I very clearly missed my shot, but it's always sounded disappointing. But I like that Bad Religion still sounded good because they have a very specific
You know who
kind
else
of
sounded
sound.
good? Finger 11.
Dude,
I don't
so
believe
we're gonna
you
get
at
into my
all.
weird shit here. We're gonna get into my weird shit here because as I've gotten older, like I listen to a lot of different stuff. Like eventually, Incubus became like one of my favorite bands because I don't know of a bad song by Incubus at all. You can name any song and it's good to great.
Oh, I
Yeah.
got you.
With
I
who?
got you, and I love Incubus, but I got some
Oh.
stinkers.
Anyway, and then nowadays like Becca's influenced my musical taste a lot. So like we got into Bastille. I fucking love Bastille. I call them existential dance music because they have
Isn't that the
yeah, that's Pompeii. That's like not their best song. Anyway,
Did
they
she
have like
get
a
you
lot of
into
weird club
Mumfords and
beats.
Sons too?
They have a lot of weird club beats, and then like
I
all their
like
lyrics.
Mumfords and Sons.
Yeah, you would.
Mumford and Sons don't like Mumford and Sons. I just recently learned about their implosion, and it was a very fascinating read.
But
Spoilers: the
Bastille-
least important person was really racist.
Bastille's really great. We went and saw them live in Charlotte. Or in Virginia. I really enjoyed them.
Is it a
Um,
band? I thought it was just a guy.
No, it's a band.
I thought it was just a dude named Bastille.
I mean, his name's Dan Smith. He's got the most boring name in the world.
Dan Smith. God, that is like the most. That is what an AI would cook up for a white person's name.
I really enjoyed them though. I really got heavily into them, and then like, I don't know, man. There's just a lot of weird shit nowadays. Like Becca listens to a lot of what's that? Seagirls. The Seagirls are great. It's a little British pop band, and they're fucking fantastic.
Like sea like the ocean or sea like
Yes.
the letter?
Sea like the ocean.
Hmm.
And
I'll
I
take the
really,
word for it.
really enjoy them. But like nowadays, man, like I mostly listen to podcasts because I'm old and boring. But when I turn on music, it's like, and here's the one everyone already knows. I'm a Swiftie. Love the Tortured Poets part that just came out.
Waiting.
Boo.
Like no shame there. I love Taylor Swift. Carly Rae Jepsen is also a bop.
Carly Rae Jepsen's different. Like she would at the beginning days, she understood the whole formula, and the
This is a
world did
bop,
not.
bud.
And yeah, and like I don't know, man. I listen to a little bit of everything these days. Whatever sounds good, I'm gonna turn it on.
Everything else everyone else has mentioned, like listening to, like I can picture them listening to it driving in their car. I'm like, yeah, this is fucking good, right? I just can't picture JD driving in the fucking car and just fucking rocking his ass off to some Taylor Swift. Like,
See-
I can't picture it.
And
Oh, I
I
can't.
think that every time a new Taylor Swift song drops out, like the new album, everybody was already making memes about the Touch Me While Your Boys Play GTA or whatever. And I just can't picture JD driving to fucking get groceries just like, While your boys play GTA.
I picked up Belle from school like last month, and I had Taylor play in the car, and she looked at me, she's like, "Taylor Swift?" I was like, "Yeah, why not?"
Well, eventually Taylor Swift's going to turn into like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse songs and all that stuff, and Bob the Builder. So you'll be rocking out to some of that.
I highly doubt that.
Oh, I said the same thing, but when you hear Miska Muska Mickey Mouse, you know
No,
it's about to be a
Tyler is
bop.
still no.
Hot dog, hot diggity dog. Come on.
JD is still firmly in the camp of can we build it? No, we can't.
hmm
Anyway, Shane, you had some questions for us, right?
Yeah,
I do have a couple of questions that I'm going to ask. I guess I'll start with Jake here. What's one song in your playlist that nobody would expect?
in my playlist.
Yeah.
I don't know if I actually have it saved in a fucking playlist, but I know one that an artist actually. I can't think of any of the songs off the top of my head. Is this dude that used to be in a Korean pop band, now he's doing solo shit, G Dragon. Dude, that guy's got some shit that, like, you might actually fucking like him, Will. You might even like him too, Shane, because the Big Bang stuff's a little bit more on the poppy side, but when G Dragon does his shit on his solo stuff, it's a little bit more rap oriented. It's pretty good. No one would be like, dude, Jake listens to G Dragon. Fuck yeah.
I don't even know who G Dragon is, but
Check him out. You'd also like him, Shane, because he's got a tattoo of an 8-star Dragon Ball, because 8's his lucky number and Dragon Ball's his favorite anime.
so I actually have a very important question. NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Backstreet Boys, easy.
In sync.
Back,
Easy.
No, it's Backstreet Boys, easy.
So
Your answer isn't
But it
"I want it
also-
that way." You're fucking wrong.
no,
If
because
it's
here's the
what?
thing. I'm about to over dissect the question. So it depends on how we approach it. So if we just approach it just pure face value, just hit versus hit, NSYNC all the way. NSYNC absolutely had more hits. But if you look at it from a structural standpoint of the band, absolutely Backstreet Boys, because
As a musician,
NSYNC
that's why.
was
go with
100% just a project to launch Justin Timberlake and JC. And JC floundered way too hard because he got really horny on the debut album. And JT, look at where he's at now. He's got like 8 fucking Trolls movie soundtracks to his fucking name. He's thriving. But Backstreet Boys, none of them really had that solo bit because they were a true boy band. None of them on their own
dudes.
could really stand, but all of them together cover each other's weaknesses.
That's it.
But
That's
they
it.
did not have the number of hits that Justin Timberlake and Friends had.
So
Don't give a shit. Larger than life
basically,
fucking rules. Fuck you.
Oh, absolutely.
so basically, it's kind of like Destiny's Child. Them together, they're all right. Them separate, only 2 of them actually were worth a damn.
Yes, actually, because I was glad you said 2 because I was about to come at you so hard if you were trying to say Beyonce was the only star of Destiny's Child.
No,
Beyonce.
Kelly was a star too.
Kelly was a fucking star and she got did dirty because her hits were way more bopping.
Jake, one last question. I know you go to a lot of concerts. What's the best live show you've seen, bud?
That's a loaded question because I've seen so many. There's like bands like Guar is an incredible live show.
Guar's almost a disqualification because they're such a live show.
Oh yeah, like with the costumes and the sets, and then like there's an overarching story through the fucking show.
And everyone gets sprayed with shit.
Yeah. Foo Fighters was really great when I saw them.
Ooh.
They went overtime and got in trouble for going too long.
Didn't you say you saw them during the period where Dave Grohl had a broken leg?
I didn't, but Katie did. So she saw Dave in the broken leg throne. I didn't. I saw them on a split bill with Social Distortion, and that was a fantastic show. Social D is a great fucking.
That's-
Social D is a great live show.
I bet. That's got to be like really the ultimate testament of you're sitting there in the wheelchair still rocking out.
Oh, sure. And I also love the fact that Dave put over Social D for opening for him. He's like, "Can you believe that fucking Social Distortion just fucking opened for my band? Like, what the fuck?" Misfits were fucking great when I saw them.
That No Effects concert we saw in Knoxville was pretty good.
Despite the fact that Fat Mike had laryngitis and everyone else fucking sang everything all night, but like they could have canceled, but they still played.
Also, no, props to wait, so you saw Fat Mike live and he showed up and still performed with laryngitis?
He did. Yep.
What a
He did.
trooper.
Other members of No Effects sang all the songs, and then some of the openers came out and sang because Mike clearly couldn't because he had laryngitis.
Yeah, I think that's what made the concert a lot funner than
Sure.
it should have been.
Yeah. That Social D, well, when I saw Social D as a headliner, that one fucking always stuck out to me because they were fucking. I actually got to meet Mike Ness before the show on accident because I pulled around the wrong side of the fucking venue.
Oh, I've done that once.
Ninja Sex Party was really good both times, but I think I might go with the second time I saw him with Katie because they did an all acoustic set
Ooh.
with the Super Guitar Brothers, and we saw him at center stage. And I don't know, like that's the only time listening to live music I actually got somewhat emotional listening to a fucking band play. They did a cover of Hey Jude, and it was fucking. Oh, it was
I'm
so
not
good.
gonna I'm sorry, Jake, but I'm gonna have to beat the shit out of you that the only time you felt emotional at a live show was Ninja Sex Party's cover of Hey Jude.
Dude, you weren't there.
And I
You
just
weren't fucking
listened
there.
to you list off some of the shows you've seen.
Like
And you're
emotional isn't like I was like I was getting choked up listening to them do that cover, and it was, and that's what they ended the show with, and it was really fucking good. And the
I
whole
will
day
say
was
I bet Danny does do a really good Hey
it's
Jude.
really good. It's really good.
He's got the voice for it.
Oh yeah, and like both times I saw NSP, like the first time like Aaron came out as like a special guest and it did some Starbomb songs,
Ooh.
and then the second time clearly because it was an acoustic show because I'm a sucker for a good acoustic set ever, and the whole fucking show was acoustic stuff. So I'd probably go with it. Like either NSP or Foo Fighters is probably the best live act I've ever seen.
Oh, that's cool. JD, I'm going to ask you the same questions basically. What's a song that no one would expect you to have in your playlist? And
Eternal Flame by the Bengals.
Banger.
Ooh, I never pegged you as a
Banger.
Bengals fan, buddy.
I know that whole song by heart, and it is fantastic.
that is awesome.
Gained some respect for JD being a Bengals fan. Let's go.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Oh, Backstreet Boys all the way.
Yes.
And then best live show you have seen, and I know you've seen a lot in the last year. You've seen a shit ton of shows.
This one's hard.
When We
so,
Were
like,
Young's almost like a cheat code to that.
Yeah, because like when we Blink at When We Were Young was euphoric. Like we pushed forward in that crowd to almost to the stage, and that was just like such an incredible energy for that show. Seeing all three of the original band members again, and I've seen them like 5 times, and I'd have to say that was the best show I've seen them. So that's gonna have to take the cake. But if I had to give it if I have to give a second, I mean, it's also another recent one. It's Fall Out Boy and in Wrigley. That was so fucking cool. A
I
hometown
can
crowd,
truck
everything.
with that because you were in the second most beautiful ballpark ever, seeing like
And
one of
we
your
were
favorite
like
bands.
2 blocks from the venue. We're staying 2 blocks from the venue in an Airbnb, so we got to walk back. We could hear them from our porch when we got back because we left during the encore, or right before the encore. They played like 4 songs for the encore, so we could hear them all the way back and all the way till we got to our hotel or back to our Airbnb. We sat in the back porch and listened to the rest of the show. It was amazing. And I've always been a big Fall Out Boy fan. Like you guys know that I came out to like 2 or 3 different Fall Out Boy songs while I was wrestling. So yeah, probably Blink and Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, I'll never forget the Uma Thurman JD era.
That was definitely not a JD era.
Can I give an honorable mention? Even though we're past me for my
Sure.
favorite like fucking
We'll
live action.
allow it, but we're gonna fine you for it.
Oh, okay, well, I want to give it for my brother's band at the time. Like fucking Radio Ruse was a fucking fantastic live
Double
show for
fine.
that shit. A double fine, okay. But I
Oh.
don't know. The little shit's got some stage presence. Good job, Jeremy.
Tyler,
Yes.
what's a song that no one would expect you to have in your playlist?
This would be good.
Blink 182.
It's what?
First Date by Blink 182.
All right.
Okay.
How's that unexpected?
Well, I don't listen to punk too much, but if I'm in that mood, my go-to is Blink 182.
Okay.
And
Let's.
also, I'll listen to Michael Bolton every now and again.
Yeah,
That
Michael
doesn't
was
surprise
hard.
me at all. So let's go ahead and do the best live show you've seen.
Best live show. Oh man. Probably the No Effects that Jake and I went to in Knoxville.
That
It
was
was
a
a
good
lot.
show.
And obviously the Misfits at the Masquerade was really good. And let's see. And God, there's another one like when I was super young and I can't remember the name. And I saw them at Riverbend, unfortunately. It was kind of a bluegrass band. It was called a band called Goose Creek, and I was shocked to hear like how good they were. And bluegrass is not my thing, but it just set me in a peaceful mood when I listened to it live. And I tried to get my grandma to get me like a cassette. That's how long ago it was. It was on a little cassette, not on CDs yet. But it was a lot of fun.
It ain't no shame with liking some bluegrass, dude. Some of the
No,
bluegrass dudes can fucking thrash.
Well, Goose Creek was really, really, really good. I was so surprised because I was so used to listening to like I was saying, like the Mortal Kombat stuff, soundtrack and KDM at FDM and what have you. But like just that night when we went to that night at Riverbend, it was incredible. I mean, there was a lot of drunks out there, obviously, but they weren't like obnoxious, wanting to get in your face and all that. Just everybody was having a good time, and it just, I guess that kind of resonated with it as well. So, yeah,
Speaking of the bluegrass, can I give you a suggestion?
sure.
Are you much of a Metallica fan at all?
Yeah, somewhat, yeah.
There's a compilation album that's out that is a bunch of bluegrass artists covering Metallica songs called Fade to Bluegrass, and you might like it.
Oh shit, I'll check that out for sure.
It's ridiculous.
For sure.
And last but not least, NSYNC or Backstreet.
This is very important.
It's Backstreet Boys for sure.
Yes.
Young William, what is one song that no one would expect Will Diamond to have in his playlist?
This is gonna be good.
I don't know what the fuck people
Hear
would
this.
expect to be in my playlist.
This is good. This is gonna be good.
I feel like honestly the most unexpected thing would be like Muse or some shit.
Ew. Really?
Yeah, no, that one album.
Sorry, I don't mean to say ew to that.
Actually,
but, like,
no, two albums, Supermassive Black Hole and whatever the name of the one before it was that had Hysteria were bangers. That little weirdo was in his bag before he started getting way too into the conspiracy shit.
Hysteria is not bad. I'll give it to
Hysteria
you.
is great.
I'll give it to you.
That made like 80 minimum shitty indie wrestlers' careers.
Oh,
Was
man.
people getting tricked off of how hype the intro is into thinking they can work.
That's mean, Will. That's
Am I-
mean. You're mean.
That's a
Am I wrong?
You're
No,
not.
You're not wrong, but that's mean.
And I know all of y'all have individually worked shows with at least two of those kinds of dudes.
Yep.
Because Hysteria had a 10 out of 10 intro.
Mm-hmm.
Literally anyone could walk through the curtain and you'd be like, let's fucking go. This is God.
And then he sucks.
Yeah, and then he doesn't do the worm.
All right.
That is horrible. You already answered the
But
NSYNC Backstreet question.
yeah, NSYNC 10 out of 10 all the way.
No.
What a
But
horror.
the best live show, T-Pain, hands down, easily. T-Pain is, if not the greatest, then one of the greatest live performers of all time. He's already got hits on hits to fill out a full set, but the fact that he could easily just coast off of said hits, but is still doing the absolute most on his live shows. Literally, I've seen him live now 3 times, and the first time I saw him live was at Bonnaroo, and he started the set by doing a freestyle remix over the Rollin' Piece beat, but he started it by just shoulder tackling one of the sound dudes, and then he did a kip up and just started rapping.
Hey, T-Pain's that dog. And he's a
T-Pain's
I
car
kind of wish
fucking
we
collector.
had
incredible.
Katie on this one because she's seen some cool shit. I know for a fact she'd say Bad Brains was the best live act she's ever seen. I think you'd
But
like them, Shane. Bad Brains. You
close
should look into them.
close runner-up would be the one time I got to see King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard live, which is one of my favorite bands.
That sounds like a fun
And
time.
I saw them at like probably the best possible time you could have seen them live, because during that year they were doing a string where they released 5 albums in 1 year, and they're all great.
Oh,
But they had just dropped album number 4, and album number 4 was a collab album with this other band called Mild High Club that were also from Australia, and they had just recently dropped a really good album, and they did a little fun collab album, but Mild High Club was the opener for this show, and so they did their set, did their songs, and then they started doing like the riff for one of the collab songs, and one by one they swapped out band members until the lead singer was the last one, and then they just fully like went into the song with him singing, and then did their little collab set with all of them out there, and then phased out Mild High Club into a King Gizzard set, but it was all seamless. Like there was no intermission. It was just like a 15-minute maybe gap of them like kind of riffing, but you can tell what song it is because it was the like main single off of the collab album that had just dropped. And then just that into here's the song, let's do a couple collab songs, and now here's King Gizzard, and you didn't even notice that Mild High Club snuck away. And the venue was weird as fuck. They did not allow moshing or crowd surfing, and
Boo.
they're a crazy ass band, so of course there was moshing and crowd surfing. And security was beefing. There was one dude that at one point he was crowd surfing through, no exaggeration, 4 straight songs. And the crowd was playing a game with security where they would push him forward, and as soon as security would lunge for his ankles to try to pull him out, the whole crowd would like pull him back. And they kept doing that, and eventually they were too slow and they finally got him. And when they finally yanked him away, King Gizzard stopped mid-song and started yelling at security and said to put him back, otherwise they would leave. And so security did, and we're just glaring at them boo-boo faced while they restarted the song, and then the dude kept crowd surfing.
Wow. It's eventful.
all right, Shano. Something you listen to that people would not expect to be on your playlist.
Chris Isaac. Wicked
Really?
Game.
The
I
dude
like
from
Yeah,
Dead
that's a good-
Space?
Do what?
The dude from Dead Space?
No.
No.
Wicked-
Wicked Game.
Is it? It's because you saw the music video at an impressionable age, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Always been infatuated with that fucking song, and I've heard the covers of like everybody. Him did a cover. I'm a big Him fan. Not before. I liked
So
him before they were popular by Bam Margera, I had to actually import the CDs in from Germany.
Oh shit!
Yes, to even get them.
Look
So
at
So you
you,
and
all,
Katie could
elite level
get
Bam
down to see
Margera
him.
fan.
yeah,
You and Katie could get to be big friends over fucking him. She loves him.
I don't like the newer, like Vampire Heart or whatever was the shits.
Yeah,
Like all that
she's the
stuff was
same way.
horrible.
I don't know.
Like,
His were my favorite episodes of Powerpuff Girls.
Damn
For
it.
fuck's
Will.
sake.
There you
damn
Well,
it.
go.
you're not wrong. Him was the
That
best
one.
character in Powerpuff Girls. Yes,
I'm
but
glad that one took just a split second to sink in.
Yeah,
you're not wrong though. He was the best character in the show.
yeah, but I like rockabilly music too, and
Yo,
Really?
yeah,
Oh, you
Rockabilly's
like
fucking good.
Ever in Horton Heat?
I love going to so Knoxville. We have a punk rock flea market that happens every year, and That's where I got some of the art in my little area here.
I need to
Was
go to that.
Oh, I thought that was Captain America.
No, I'll show you a piece I got from there. It's over here on this side of here. But
Dane, when
yeah,
that comes up again, let me know because I've been meaning to go to that.
yeah, if you haven't been to the punk rock flea market, man, you just haven't been
Shit,
anywhere.
scoop me for that.
fucking
I'll
want
go.
to.
That sounds fun. I like a good flea market.
And as far as NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, I'm gonna have to go with William on this. NSYNC all the way.
The No
Just
Strings
Larger than
Attached
life,
album.
though.
No, the entire No Strings Attached album though. What song off of that was not a #1 fucking hit?
Couldn't tell you. Didn't listen to it.
Yeah, well, you know what, Tyler? That just makes me ill.
So I'm about to surprise you again because my best live show that I've ever seen just happens to be Fleetwood Mac.
I'm jealous. I fucking bet. I have one of their
You've seen
concert DVDs, and it
I
is
saw
one
him.
of the most magical things ever.
I used to work at the Coliseum, and the only reason I worked at the Coliseum was so I could go to these concerts and stuff for free. And basically, I would sell cotton candy. That's why I would go to the baseball games too, because I'd sell hot dogs at the baseball games, the Smoky Stadium.
yeah.
So I get to go for free and make some money while I was there.
Yeah.
Well, one of the concerts I worked was Fleetwood Mac, and it was when I was in high school, so it was like 2000 something, about 2003, 2004, somewhere in there.
That's
And
before I have the DVD.
yes, and that is the best live show I've ever seen.
Did they bring out the high school marching band for Tusk?
No, I don't think so.
That's a shame because that is one of the crazy. Like Tusk is, if it was any other band, they would get slandered for it because that is such a repetitive song. But the DVD they have, they bring out some random high school marching band to do the backing instruments for it, and it makes Tusk the greatest fucking song they've ever made. I'm so jealous. I would love to see Fleetwood Mac live.
I
The
would have never.
my second one, and the only reason why it's not first is because I can't stand live rap unless it's like battle rap. I'm not a fan.
Elaborate.
I'm not a fan. Like, so I saw the Anger Management tour at the Hi-Fi in Atlanta, and so Eminem's set was good, but it was like everything in between. Like Ice Cube showed up, it was good. Little John showed up. This was also the time whenever Mobb Deep had signed with G Unit, so that was around that time. So like 50 was out there rapping, and most of his songs at that time was like, yo, fuck Mobb Deep. So like Lloyd Banks had to like tell him that, whoa, 50, like, because he was about to go on the whole part about fucking Mobb Deep, and they were out there with him. So Lloyd Banks
What
was
a
like, yes, like Lloyd Banks had to like stop 50 from saying fuck Mobb Deep. And it was
no.
the greatest fucking
That
thing ever.
is like 50 is iconic, but I'm not like one of the biggest fans of him musically, but I'm such a big fan of him as a person
His
because
troll
I'm
game is
I'm sorry, but that
impeccable.
is one of the greatest I'm going to rub my dick on your face level dickhead moves to literally make the person you're about to diss walk up to you and say, "Please don't say that."
Yeah, he had totally forgotten.
God
Also,
damn.
also
Poor
it
Lloyd.
was, yeah, it was also when I almost got my ass beat by Little John's fucking security guard because Little John was out there, and I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna get a picture and get my ticket signed," which I did get my ticket signed, so I have a Little John autograph somewhere over here, and yeah, he almost beat my ass.
Hell yeah.
Like
I
I runned up on Little John and I was like, man, I shouldn't do this in Atlanta, but fuck it, whatever. And
I
yeah,
have a supplemental slight follow-up question for you and for Jake. What is the most recent show you've seen
Oh shit.
live, obviously?
Probably that acoustic NSP show.
Yane?
I haven't been to a show in a long time, probably since COVID. So I haven't.
I
Yeah, the
It's
NSP
been a
one was
while
post
for me.
COVID.
I went to that festival tail end of last year in Atlanta, and that was cool despite a lot of bullshit. Still have never been so angry at a live show than when I'd waited through, like, you know how it is at a festival whenever like big stages are next to each other and it's just a sea of people trying to wade through all that. I was trying to get through from one stage to another for Chief Keef, and as soon as I had finished my pilgrimage, the dude just goes, "Chief Keef's not here," and just walks away, and I was so angry. But it was made up for it because before that I did get to see Jada Kiss live.
Oh,
No, the most recent show I went to was I saw my brother's band Radio Roots play at Star Bar in Atlanta. That's the
I
most
heard
recent.
that was a really crazy show. I heard like multiple women fainted from the vapors. I heard there was shootouts, pyrotechnics. I heard they're the craziest band in town.
They are definitely the craziest band in Atlanta. And my brother did have women passing out from the vapors from his very what's homeboy's name from the fucking Rolling Stones? Mick Jagger. He was from his fucking Mick Jagger like stage presence.
No,
well,
he needs to switch it up and be a big old weirdo like the Talking Heads dude.
No. Ugh.
I
yeah.
I l- I'm I used to always think everyone recognizes that he's a fucking weirdo and
He
dances like
is
a
fucking
fucking
weird.
weirdo. But I've seen this resurgence of white boys that are like, "That's my idol. I love how he dances."
Jesus fucking.
Well,
No.
on that note, I got some valuable fucking life lessons. One,
Here
don't
we
be
go.
like that fucking guy.
Don't dance like a Talking Heads music video.
Yeah, don't dance like the
Exactly.
talking.
Don't fucking do that. And also, too, very important with Google, Pandora, Spotify, and everything else. Do not listen to shitty music.
There you go.
There you go.
Go
Jake,
listen to Sexy Red's new album.
fuck no. Jake, what do they do?
Don't listen to shitty music.
Fuck my baby daddy.